like the wine. As your best interested.
Best interested heart.
It's getting dark, guys. English bundles. Should we start a podcast?
Please let us know in the comment section down below. Thank you. Hi effects, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you've all been doing well. I'm so sorry I've been MIA.
Are you sorry?
I really am sorry. Today we have a very special guest. You can introduce yourself, sorry.
Yes. Oscar or DJ Oscar Worldwide.
I will put the link to his YouTube channel in the description box down below. Please make sure to check that out and subscribe. It's very important that you subscribe. In today's video, we're going to be talking about a channel that is Trend Central. They are in charge of the 2 episodes that are going on right now. Not episodes, seasons? Series, yeah. Series, that's the best way to describe it.
How do you find a plural for series?
Series.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like it's a series of...
Series.
Yeah, it's a... Everybody has to know about this. There's a series going on by Trend Central, and they've got Backchat London, and they've got Blue Therapy. Today we're going to be talking specifically about Blue Therapy, aka the menace that is Paul. Paul is a problem. I'm just gonna give a rundown for people who haven't watched it or who are not familiar. Couples go to therapy sessions and they discuss their problems with their partners in this series,
hoping to find
solutions for whatever they may be going through.
I haven't watched those. I've only seen clips of Paul only. Yeah, and you?
Paul is a lot, guys. He's bald, dark-skinned, has a beard.
Pink lips.
Already. Pink lips. That's already like a recipe for disaster. He already looks like a problem. Paul, I don't want to generalize. I want you guys to go into this with fresh eyes.
Yeah.
But my take from all of this is that Paul is your classic narcissist. He's one of those manipulative people in a relationship. I like that he goes into the relationship telling you what he expects, but then you shouldn't like try to force someone to like you, if you get what I mean. Like, they should like you for you, but you shouldn't force them to now change their ways, because then that's going to turn into resentment. He will lead with, no, look at it in this way. Look at how I'm doing things, not trying to fix things. He's very defensive in all his responses. He especially attacks the therapist, of which I don't think that's right. Because
it's not right. And there's a clip I saw where he was sort of telling Choma that sort of like indirectly saying she should be grateful that she's with him. Yeah. Though she's not satisfied like with all the other things that, you know, she listed. Yeah. She's like, because I work hard. Yeah. And when you met me, you knew from the get-go that this is my lifestyle. So yeah.
He's a lot to take in, isn't he?
Yeah, it's hard to box him in because he's everywhere.
I feel like I needed to ask you this because you're a guy and you know how most men think. He was basically doing like what most African men do, like trying to I'm sorry to say this, but like this is what I've seen. And even like culturally, they try to box a woman in, like, you are just supposed to be here to serve me and what I want.
Your place. Yeah. You know your place.
Like, exactly. And that's where the other girl comes in, Deborah. She's one of those, okay, provide me with my Prada bucket hat and, you know, money, I'll be quiet and I'll take whatever you have to take.
My ex, basically.
Oscar, too soon. In the beginning, I thought that maybe she was just materialistic, but then it turns out that Jamal was actually cheating. So were you cheating on your girl?
Hell no.
Jamal was very shady. He was texting people at 1 a.m. Just very shady.
So he was texting people at 1 a.m. Yeah. And where was Deborah?
She was there. They lived together.
And like
right in front of her at 1 a.m.
Like, why is he holding his phone at 1 a.m.? Like,
apparently he's a personal trainer and he has to be 24/7 there for his clients. I'm sorry, there's no amount of work that you can do that will like prompt you to be on your phone after at least 10 p.m.
Especially if you're a personal trainer. Like, no one trains after 8.
Yeah. Okay. I'm glad that you said, especially if you're a personal trainer. What if like yourself, your profession,
Yeah.
architect. If someone is messaging you past the time, what's your deadline for like saying no? You don't talk to me after this time.
For me, it's normal office hours.
Which is what, 8
which
to
is
5?
8 till 5.
Period. Thank you.
Well, fair and fine. There's people in different time zones, and
After 5 p.m. it doesn't make
it
sense.
doesn't make sense, especially if you are in a relationship. Because
Yeah.
the moment you start fine-tuning and making exceptions for people, fair and fine, it might make sense to you,
Yeah.
but your significant other,
Might not be comfortable.
yeah, they might, be okay with it the first time, and then it becomes a pattern, because that client's not gonna, stop there on that one day.
Yeah.
It's gonna, continue
Be
happening.
consistent, yeah.
Yeah. So you might want to stop. And also, if you start doing things that are like outside the confines of your relationship, it'll be okay with you doing it. But once the other person starts doing it, it'll be a different ballgame.
story.
Most of the time, people wrong others in the relationship. They can't, take a taste of their own medicine.
That is
They
true.
can't handle it. Speaking from experience.
In this episode 4, Choma ended up going to her sister's place for like a week. She wasn't staying with Paul. And in episode 5, he ended up behaving. Because every other time when I was asked a question by the therapist or by Choma, he would become so defensive. He felt like Babe was the cushion for him to say offside things. You know what I'm saying? He'd be like, Babe, you need therapy. Babe, you need to heal. But look at yourself, Paul. So after this thing when she didn't stay with him, right? She only saw him when they went back to therapy. Paul, his whole demeanor changed. Like he was now willing to talk and sort their issues. My question to you as a gent is, what is this thing that you guys like to do? I don't know if it's like a hunting thing in you, like you like to chase. We're not supposed to be there for you all the time. Are we supposed to stinge you?
Don't be boring. Don't be predictable.
What does that even mean?
It's all about like when people say carry yourself how you want to be addressed. A lot of people, let's say with women, what they expect is they want you to do this, but don't do it to the T. You get it? Like, don't be predictable. To say, if I get home, you'd have made food for me, and then this is what's gonna happen, and then that's gonna be that. Some guys actually want a bit of drama, right? But not too much. Yeah, but in some cases, some guys don't want any drama at all.
Yeah.
And when I say like don't be boring, like not to say like just be trying to start up arguments. No, not that kind of stuff. Don't be dependent on your man.
Okay.
In terms of, okay, not financially, because sometimes you can't really do anything about that. And if he's okay with it, then that's your relationship, it's fine.
Okay.
But in terms of have your own life
Okay.
outside of his presence, because I know a lot of people who are in relationships where they just cooped up in the house with the boyfriend because probably he's overprotective, and probably it's not even his fault because maybe you be out there wilding,
Doing some crazy stuff, and now he feels the need.
he feels the need to box you in.
Yeah.
So you need to have a lifestyle that's sort of like secluded from him, so that he feels like if he doesn't keep his game up, if he doesn't step up like all the time, if he doesn't keep a certain standard of like how he treats you, you're gonna go, or not like you're gonna go, or like some other guy's gonna come up and take you.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
I like that you said that, because I think that's where Chioma went wrong. She was now thinking, okay, I found my Nigerian man who's just like me and he's perfect. But she stopped to think, okay, everything, I have to center everything that I do, the way I cook, the way I dress, has to be around Paul. Yeah.
Well, things that you do together might be okay if you sort of like do it the way you guys like. You need to have your own friends.
Yeah.
Because I've seen people who cut off their friends and the only friends they know are the guys' friends. I know a lot of women say men tend to relax when they win their woman.
Yeah.
But that is true, but it's also because the girl might have also relaxed.
Oscar, so basically the patriarchy must fall at this point, because you were saying that you should have your own life, but then at the same time, you should have a lifestyle with him. But what about him? What is he doing to make sure that the relationship is fresh?
Okay, what I'm trying to say by that you relax, it's the same thing I've been saying.
Yeah.
To say, now that he's in your life, before you had him,
What did you do?
what were you doing?
Yeah.
Keep doing that.
Except for talking to other men.
We both know that.
There's an episode, right, where Paul was saying, listen, now I like to watch my figure. I want to work out. I don't want to eat things with too much calories. Like, have you seen those people who like plan meal planning?
Oh yeah.
They've broccoli, chicken breast,
Yep.
and maybe a potato. Like, it's just so bland. If we had just expressed that to her, not to say, listen, we both need to eat this. Because then at the end of the episode, he ended up saying something like, when I met you, I could lift you up easily during the deed. But now I can't, and that's why I feel we both need to be taking
Maybe you need
these
to work
meals.
out more, bruh.
Maybe it's you whose stamina is off. I feel like people should just learn to communicate. Say exactly what you mean. Like, yo, babes, I feel like I'm a bit unfit right now, and I need to be eating more healthy. We're talking about communicating. Had they done that, especially in Paul and Choma's case, a lot of things would have been fixed.
Yeah, it really solves most of the problems before you even get into them. That whole thing where people say, yeah, you need to find out how your person is in all 4 seasons. It's all about communication, because even when someone's not talking to you, that's communication.
Deborah and Jamal, like, she started off being the crazy girlfriend in Codes.
Oh yeah.
But then the more we watched, the more we realized that, you know, Jamal is actually being shady. And because of his actions, she ended up, you know, reacting in a certain way.
Exactly.
So, what advice would you give to your friend in a situation like that? Let's say you're the Deborah. You're the friend to the Deborah in such a relationship.
It's a tricky one, because first of all, you probably wouldn't know that the person's being shady.
Yeah.
So you've got nothing to go on. But my sister says, if you don't like how a man chews, leave.
Yeah.
That's your only time, because if you end up getting married to that person and there's some things that irk you about them, you're stuck.
Yeah.
Well, obviously you can, divorce, but like these things will keep piling up and you'll start resenting that person and you'll hate marriage. That's when you hear people uttering words like marriage is overrated. No, it ain't. You just married the wrong person.
Exactly.
Like, it's not a bad thing. You just went about it too quickly. You went about it the wrong way. You thought it was Jolo. No.
This is the real deal.
It's the real deal.
Babes, if you see red flags, leave. Sorry guys, you may cancel me or whatever after this, but let's be serious for 1 second. Women are not held accountable for a lot of things that they do in relationships. This is one situation, like this one episode is where I was like, maybe Paul is actually not crazy. Maybe he's been doing all of this because what this guy's been doing is driving him crazy. And like, everybody jumped on the Choma bandwagon, bro. Like, when I tell you, everybody was commenting about Paul's bald head, not even about what was going on in the therapy session. And like, this one episode when she moved away and now Paul was ready to talk, like, he was saying all these things like, yo, when we started dating, you were sleeping with your ex. 1, 2, now that we're dating, I try to bring some things, you are defensive, and you and this therapist are trying to make me the bad guy, but look at what you're doing. If your partner cannot communicate their feelings, because it happens a lot in relationships, people don't really communicate well, and in the end, they end up breaking.
Yeah.
What other alternative can we use to fix things other than communication?
There's no other way, because even friendships, any relationships basically, they're based upon, it's the substrata of like all human interaction, communication. If you can't communicate with everyone else, you need to accommodate that one person you call dearest. Because you can't really have children with someone who's like who you don't even know, like deeply.
Does therapy make sense, bro? In relationships, before you're even married, you're already going for therapy.
It all depends on why you're going there and the type of people, the type of person you're dating. It all depends on why you're going there. Because I remember
You
a few
loved it?
clips. Yeah. Well, not really about love. Because maybe sometimes you haven't gotten that far. You just feel like you need to go for therapy.
Yeah.
If a person has so much conviction that, you know, they're so perfect, like what Paul seemed to be in the one clip that I saw when he was like, I'm a hardworking guy, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And then he's just trying to rationalize all the wrong things that he's doing, even when he has got nothing, he's got no leg to stand on.
Okay.
Those people are the worst. There's someone who can admit to being wrong, and someone worth going to therapy with.
Yeah. But I wanted to say an issue about communication. Maybe that is Paul's love language. Did we ever stop to think about that?
Lack of communication.
No, like him saying, you know what, I'm working hard to bring food to the table. Maybe his love language is acts of service.
Yeah.
And he hasn't read the room. He doesn't know his other partner. Because it sounded like Choma wanted quality time.
Oh yeah.
And things like that, physical touch.
Definitely. That's
Yeah.
sort of like the typical African dad.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm providing food on the table.
yeah,
So
me
you
not
should...
being in the house is
Yeah.
showing that I love you because I'm out there.
It's not
working.
enough. Look at what your partner likes.
Like I keep saying, like before y'all get into all of that, y'all need to understand that. What's your
Yeah.
partner's love language?
Yeah.
What is it that they cherish the most? Would they rather not see you for like 3 nights in a row while you're out there working just so you can live in a triple story mansion, or a humble 3-bedroom house, medium to medium to low density suburb, but you get to have dinner with each
Every
other
night.
every night,
Yeah.
and the kids. You need to understand all of that. Some people don't really care about like
All of that.
all of that.
I love all these chats that we're having, because in as much as we're not really directing to the people in Blue Therapy, in as much as it's all acting, people are really going through
Yeah,
this.
true. Chioma and Paul, they just need to communicate better and lay in the bed that they've made,
Yeah.
because seems like Paul knew what he was getting into, and Chioma also did.
She was still sleeping with her ex
How do you know if it's an ex if they're still sleeping together?
because they had the chat with Paul, because now she's getting into a new relationship. Okay, look at
No.
it this way. Boy and girl meet today, right? Girl still is doing whatever she's doing with her ex.
Yeah.
And then she lets
My
boy
question is,
yeah.
what classifies him as an ex if they're still sleeping together?
That's what Paul is saying. If you are a serious girl and you take yourself seriously, you should have just one gent. That's what the conversation was about. And then she ended up saying things like, no, but you knew what you're getting yourself into, because it's true.
Yeah,
You knew.
it is true. But my question is, sleeping together is like the most intimate thing people can do, right?
When it comes to physical, yeah.
I mean, even like in a relationship, there's like, is there anything more intimate than that?
Yes, I feel like there are many kinds of intimacy, like emotional.
Yeah, there is, but
Yeah.
I mean like, that one is super invasive.
With
Anything
physical,
else,
yes.
Yeah, anything else, I don't think people can get emotionally
Intimate. Yes, you can.
I mean, to that level.
Physical is just one state of
Yes,
being
it's
intimate
one
with
state,
someone.
right?
Yeah.
But then when you try compare sexual intercourse with whatever emotional intimacy you could find,
Oscar,
is it on
I
the
feel
same
like
level?
this is where men and women differ. This is exactly where men and women differ. Yeah, because for me, there are like 6 different types of intimacy when I look at things in relationships. And if it's just physical, that's why you can find great example, soul ties. You cannot just make a soul tie just like this. You have to be in a certain physical space or mental space as well. Like you can sleep with someone today and you won't even think about them tomorrow.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. Well,
Yeah.
is that also applicable for like women?
Yes,
Oh.
very much so.
my point bringing this up was that you don't just get to that level of physical intimacy without
the other kinds of
without some others which make up a relationship.
Okay.
So she can't say he's my ex when they're still sleeping together. To me, that's BS.
But don't you think it was important? Like, don't you see that she saw a future with Paul? The fact that she was like, you know what, you and I are getting deeper. Not the money, but like, listen, you and I are getting serious. I just needed to let you know, because she could have easily played them both, strung them both along, but she didn't do that. She was like, listen, I've got this guy that I used to deal with. I slept with him in the past, but you and I are getting serious, so I feel like I should let you know this, and I'm gonna cut him off now that you have stated your intention that you want to be in an exclusive relationship with me. So you, as the gent, that was Paul's time to be like, you know what? This girl was intimate with her ex. Am I going to leave now or what?
Exactly.
And he stayed for 3 years.
Yeah.
So why is it a problem today? Now that we've come to therapy, you didn't talk about it back then. You want to talk about it now.
That's why I'm saying they should both just lay in the beds they've made, because they knew what they were both getting into.
Okay.
Yeah. So them trying to fight about things that happened like way back, it's just
doesn't make sense.
It's just deflection, and
they're trying to get away from the real issue.
The real issue. I don't specifically believe in people changing. That's just me. But yeah, it doesn't really mean that she's still the same person she was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? Because I've heard someone say being in a relationship with someone is having to attend 1,000 funerals of who they once were. Yeah. But that's if
they're willing
you're not
to.
dating a big baby.
Ooh, that's another thing.
Yeah. Which is kind of Jamal and Deborah. They both just
kids
stuck on what they want to do, what they've been doing. How long do they date?
I think just over a year. Ooh, Jamal. He actually told her, you know what? Before you and I started dating, I liked your sister, like your blood sister. We just ended up dating, but I actually liked your sister. That is insane.
Wow.
That is insane.
That's an insult. So
How?
yeah, well,
But
I ended up with you. But
no.
What I really wanted was your sister.
They're probably going to be very similar, don't you think? So if I like you, I'm most probably gonna like. Okay, this is a dirty way of thinking, but do you get where he was coming from, though? Because if he was trying to be shady, he would have kept that to himself, don't you think?
It's already shady for him to even say that.
Yeah.
You don't say such. It's
why is that?
Because it's for me, like the way I was brought up, like in our culture, your wife's sister is your wife.
Yeah.
I mean, not that you get to do all of that, but like.
But she's your wife as well. You respect her.
Exactly. Yeah. But with the way, first world countries, it's kind of incestuous because that's your sister.
Yeah.
Basically, you can't, do all of that.
Yeah.
You can't say any suggestive things towards that person. So it's kind of off. But I hope he meant it in the way that he didn't know Deborah. And he only knew her sister.
Yeah. Maybe that's what he meant. Maybe that's why he brought it up.
I hope.
But the way he said it, it's as if he knew her as well.
Oh, to say, so that's why I was like, it sounds to me like you were saying,
weird.
I only ended up with you, but who I really liked was your sister.
Yeah.
But too bad I couldn't get that, but settle for the next best thing.
That is horrible.
Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and subscribe, and comment.
Comment. It's very important, guys.
It's very important.